But as previously mentioned, our guest for tonight is Deborah Sengupta-Stith. She writes for the Austin American-Statesman and Austin 360, music reviews, scene coverage, etc. So let's welcome her to the stage, you guys. Adjustment there. Welcome.
What's up, y'all?
Hey, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So recently, I just want to kind of jump into it.
Let's do it.
For those of you who haven't seen this before, haven't listened to the podcast, we don't ask interview questions. We just try to have a conversation. Hence the name of the show,
The Hot Conversation.
J-Ro, if you think of anything, please jump in here. But I want to start off with we talked about this a little before the show. You recently attended a Black Angels concert at the First Avenue Club in Minneapolis.
On my couch.
On your couch.
Yeah. I felt like one of those, can I say assholes in this podcast?
Yeah, you can say asshole.
Okay, good. I can't do that at my work necessarily.
Right.
But I felt like one of those assholes in an airbed at ACL Fest. Like had my feet up, it was all lounged out and rocking out to a show. And it was super cool. Like I had it like in the stupid VR headset thing, and I mean, you can see how it's going to be a very cool thing in a few years. The technology's pretty fritzy right now.
Right. I was reading your review, and you were saying that was kind of the biggest hurdle was just just the thing you're wearing itself.
Well, the thing you're wearing, no, it's not. I mean, you feel really stupid wearing it. I mean, unless like you're somebody who's really into that, which I am not. But it's really cool. You can see how in a few years, because they had a bunch of cameras set up around the stage, and the ones that were on the front of the stage, you actually felt like you were sitting on the front of the stage looking up at Alex Moss, and that was super cool. But I mean, the resolution wasn't the greatest.
Right.
Sometimes stuttering a little. Made it about 15 minutes and my phone died.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it started overheating.
Is your phone like overheating?
Yeah, I got a message that said, you're overheating, please log out.
I heard you get headaches with those VR. I heard you get headaches or...
I didn't have it on long enough to get a headache, so...
Was that your first experience with VR?
You know, because I got the VR set because I ordered my phone during the pre-order time and it came free with my phone. I have a Google Pixel, and so you had a Daydream View. And I got it kind of for my kids to play around with, but you're not supposed to let your kids play around with it because it can mess up their little brains. So.
Can't everything mess up little brains?
You know, because it's like the sensory, which, P.S., what does that mean it's doing to us?
Right.
But, I mean, yeah, they say you're not supposed to use it if you're a kid.
Wait, so is that like is that more of a physical problem, like it might make them sick, or is that like an actual, their brain is still being wired, so you
I
don't
think
want to mess
that
with
their
the
brain is still being wired, and it's like, because it changes like your perception and depth perception, and I don't know, they don't, you're not supposed to, and so it was the first time my kids had seen it, because I had great plans of them being tucked away in bed, and it just wasn't working like that night, and so they were like, what's that, what are you doing? So
yeah, obviously if you have a big machine over your head, their children are going to be curious as to what it is.
Yeah.
And I remember one of the lines in the piece you wrote, you were talking about potential future applications, for instance, Lady Gaga's Super Bowl show.
Well, I think that the technology can go in two directions, was what I said. That, you know, I feel like, for me, for this particular Black Angels show, I would have enjoyed it more if it had been more of a user-directed experience, where, like, there were about 5 different cameras. If I could have been like, ooh, I want to go sit on the stage. Ooh, there's a guitar solo. Let me get on the guitar side of the stage. You know, if I could have been able to control it, they didn't have a very strong concept of how we're videoing this show. But I could totally see an artist like Beyonce who, you know, plans every frame of her life down to the millisecond, having a show where she's working with the director and her creative team's like, okay, at this point we're gonna cut to the glitter explosion camera and you're in the middle of the glitter explosion. And that would be super cool. The Lady Gaga helmet cam as she flies in. That would be super, super cool.
Were those your ideas?
Yeah.
Man, they should hire you to coordinate it.
I would watch that show, though. I would actually, you know, pay $5 to watch Beyonce's Coachella set next year if it was that kind of a directed experience.
Yeah, I mean, to me that's kind of the difference between setting a tripod down at a show versus a concert documentary? Say, like, it's not making sense. If you do it right and you get the shots in order.
Well, and especially because when you look at some of those big concert shows, you know, like Drake, where he's flying over the, or actually was it Kanye? He was flying over the Irwin
Sounds
Center.
like a Kanye
yeah,
thing.
that does seem like a Kanye thing. And I actually was at the Drake show, and I think he did fly at one point. I think he likes flying. That's what he does. But yeah, so like if it was one of those things where like you're riding with the artist as he's flying over the crowd, and because it's virtual reality, you get kind of like a 180-degree field of vision, so you could be like looking up at Drake into his dreamy eyes, and then looking at his view of going over the crowd, and that would be really cool, and I would watch that.
Yeah, I would also read think pieces about what that new perspective was doing to us as fans.
Yeah.
That's interesting to me just in and of itself, the idea that you can be in someone's shoes in a way that you couldn't before.
Right, well, but also that it's really weird and isolating because you've got that stupid thing on your head. So like, you know, it totally, like, for me, you know, you go to a show and you're with people and there's that liveness, but this is you shut off in little world, which is kind of weird, you know?
It's kind of, that seems like where a lot of things are going. I mean, it goes back to the internet, the illusion of connectedness.
Right.
Versus being alone. Well, you, how long have you been writing for Austin-Statesman?
I have been with the Statesman for 13 years. I was writing music reviews. I was on the web team for the first 10 years of that, and I was doing some music reviews. I did festival coverage. I did some features, but then I moved to a full-time writing position 3.5 years ago, something like that.
So there have been, obviously we're in Austin, Texas, there's a lot of festivals.
Yes.
Can you think of a festival that you've gone to recently that kind of stood out from the norm of the festival circuit, or anything in particular? I'm thinking of Sound on Sound.
Yeah, I'd say Sound on Sound. Yeah, I mean, well, definitely like the whole festival in the Renfest, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, where like the day before I was like, ooh, what's my wenchiest outfit I can wear? You know, I mean, because it's being in that setting is really cool, and yeah, I liked it a lot.
It was kind of like a new little village. I mean, I know they're called festival villages, but it's like an actual village.
Right.
Because if you guys got a chance to go, the festival, Sound on Sound Fest, was done in a Renaissance fair, and all of the native buildings that were already there for the Ren Fair were just turned into vendor stops, merch stops. So it really was like a whole little village of music that you were visiting.
And they had Maid Marian and Robin Hood hanging out, walking around.
Did they?
Yes, they were hanging out. They were doing their thing.
Oh man, did you get to talk to them?
Yeah. We interviewed Robin Hood on our podcast.
Oh, really?
And Maid Marian. She got offended because I called them thieves, and they prefer the term merry men.
Yeah.
Or this band of thieves.
The trigger word.
So
for Robin Hood.
yeah. It's like, no, we prefer merry men. So.
Well, that's good. You're respecting what they want to be called.
But I will say, though, on the drive home, I was driving behind a dude who was drunk, which was kind of scary, you know, because it's like a long, dark road, and I could tell he was drunk because apart from the fact that he was weaving, he would like slow down to 35 miles per hour and then speed up to 70 miles per hour, and it was really weird. And so, like, I had that moment of, do I pass him? Like, what happens then? And shortly after I passed him, he got pulled over.
Well, good. I'm glad they pulled over someone who's actually drunk.
Yeah.
But there is always that bargain in your mind where you're like, I could pass him to get out of danger, but what if he decides to merge on me?
Yes, because I think he was kind of gauging his speed off of other people, and it was a little alarming.
Yeah, that's dangerous. I have to admit, today I was driving around Austin, and I mean, I know that Austin traffic, Austin drivers is kind of a long-running joke, and maybe I'm just getting to be an old man, but I kind of feel like it's getting a little worse lately.
That Austin traffic is obviously getting worse. Austin drivers have always been pretty terrible.
I almost got hit twice today.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, I guess it happens.
Yeah.
It's like, Austin.
There's a 60-70% chance the other driver is stoned. So I mean.
Yeah.
That's what you're dealing with.
Guilty of that one.
See.
Guilty. So obviously you see a lot of live shows.
Yes.
Can you talk about some of the Austin bands or groups that you're excited about right now?
Well, I'm wearing a t-shirt for Kiko Villamizar.
That's a rad shirt.
I love. He is a Colombian musician, and he puts on a great live show. I'm excited about the Prince Body Rock that's coming up.
That's next week,
yeah.
right?
Yup. And Brownout is releasing their EP this weekend, and those dudes, like, I don't know, like, they're some of the best instrumentalists in the country, like, and the nicest dudes. Like,
Brownout?
Yes.
Are they from Austin?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Brownout. They're part of Grupo Fantasma, Brownout. They're all kind of like this related, but they have a new album or a new EP that's coming out because they just did 2 rounds of Black Sabbath covers.
Oh wow.
Called Brown Sabbath. And they're all from like Laredo border area, the lead singer's from Mexico City. And they have another cover project that they're coming out. They're doing a cover, well, their new EP is called Over the Covers because it's all original material, but then they're doing the cover of the first Public Enemy album. So they're doing Fear of a Brown Planet.
Nice.
Coming later this fall.
That's awesome.
Which is kind of America's disease right now, right?
Yeah.
Fear of a Brown Planet.
Very much so. It's a very timely release.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So.
J-Ro, do you still have your old copy of Fear of a Black Planet? It was like one of the first hip-hop albums I ever got. Public Enemy. You had it on cassette tape?
Yeah.
Nice. So, speaking of cover bands, a lot of people have very strong opinions on cover bands.
Yes.
One way or the other.
Yes.
Do you have a strong opinion on cover bands?
I don't really. I mean, it's hard. I interviewed Sabrina Ellis from Sweet Spirit one time, and she was talking about how, and she's amazing. Speaking of people who are amazing live, she's amazing. But she was talking about how much she hates doing covers, and she hates doing hoot nights because she hates that people love music that they know so much, and then you go back to playing your own music, and they're like, okay, back to turning on my phone and drinking, and but like you play a cover, and they're all like, yeah. So I mean, but I think there's a time and a place.
Yeah, I mean,
Brown Sabbath was dope.
Yeah, I mean that sounds great. I would love to hear that.
Yeah, because it was all they did like Latin interpretations of Black Sabbath songs. So.
See, like especially, I think there's a distinction between a cover band that's trying to just recreate the sound of the original and someone who's doing a new spin on it.
Right, but they kind of got caught in that cycle because their manager is like real into the jam band circuit, and that's a thing that bands do in the jam band circuit. Like there's the band that they recreate like this particular Grateful Dead concert, which is not what Brownout did, but they started. So they were planning to only do this one thing that they did kind of as a lark, and then a label gave them money to make the album, and then all of a sudden everybody wanted them to tour the album, and then they were doing Bonnaroo, and they said it became like a bad relationship where you keep trying to quit it, and then they're like, yeah, but do you want to do Bonnaroo?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, fine, baby, let's go to the mall.
Yeah, I feel like that definitely happens where sometimes the material you don't love the most of your own is the most popular.
I have family that's I have 2 family members that live up the Midwest from Chicago, and they have a group called Animation, and it's a Rush tribute band.
Yeah.
And it's gotten to the point where they're literally on tour throughout the Midwest. And like every time I see their posts, and it's just like, sometimes being a cover band can be a good thing as well.
They make money.
Yeah, they make a lot of money. So.
I bet you can identify with that though, like what Sabrina was talking about, playing your original songs versus playing, as a DJ, requests versus trying to break something new.
I don't like requests. Can you play this for me? I'll play it, but I gotta put my twist to it, so it's kind of hard, when you try to blend it into a certain mix you're in.
Right.
But, like just earlier, I tend to remix a lot of stuff to make it blend in, so, it's always recreating stuff.
Put your own spin on it.
Yeah, exactly. The J-Ro spin.
And then speaking of the Prince show, I'm a huge Prince fan. I have to admit, I went to the Body Rock Prince show 3 years ago.
Right.
After he died, I was actually there were a bunch of tribute shows. Then the last 3 months after he died, I couldn't go. I just felt I didn't want to be sad.
Right.
But I'm really excited about Body Rock bringing it back, and also Shaka.
It's freakishly Prince looking.
Oh yeah, he is.
When he puts that wig on, it's like the craziest thing.
Yeah. Riders Against the Storm are the ones who throw Body Rock here in town. They do a Prince dance party. But Shaka and Pianagi, one of the front people of the group, he just did a art show exhibit, right?
Yeah.
And you covered that as well.
Yeah, yeah.
The people of color exhibit.
Yeah. His stuff is dope. It's super dope, and he's got T-shirts like with Biggie and Pac. He has an Ancestors series, and his Ancestors series includes Biggie and Pac because it's awesome. And you can buy T-shirts of it. He has a clothing line called Never Fresher.
Never Fresher.
Yeah.
Great. That's a great idea too, because I've seen some of that art, and I could definitely see it doing well on apparel.
Yeah, they don't have they're out of my color and my size. So
what's your color?
My color's orchid.
Orchid?
I'm rocking the mismatched purples as we speak. So.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm a fan of purple myself.
Yeah.
I remember when they did the Roz Day at Kenny Norman's backyard, and Shaka was making posters. I still have some of those at my house from the original, the first Roz Day. So is it kind of, I don't know if you remember that style exactly, but is it kind of in that style?
Well, his style is, he says he's very influenced by Calvin and Hobbes, and he said he's also, because he's really influenced by, he said he used to read the Sunday paper and look at the comics, and he's very influenced by comic strips, but he also said by Hello Kitty, because he likes the minimalism of it, because what is it? It's an oval with two triangles, but it creates some kind of an emotional response for people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, I used to work at a toy store with a Sanrio section. It has a very emotional response.
Oh, I have little girls. It's very, very emotional.
How old are your daughters?
7 and 8.
What are their favorite Sanrio characters?
They like Choco Cat.
Me too.
Actually. Yeah. They like the cat of color.
Nice.
They're little girls of color. So,
what's the frog's name? He was my second.
Keroppi? Is he the frog?
Keroppi, yeah.
I like the penguin myself. The grumpy penguin, the grouchy penguin. I always felt like I could kind of relate to that.
I like that.
Yeah.
So, if you've never seen this before, sometimes we like to do this. We like to have a random topic. So I'm going to turn it over to you guys. Does anyone have one last topic that you want to talk about with Deborah Sengupta-Stith tonight?
Kushner.
Jared Kushner?
Oh, the Kush.
You want to talk about the Kush?
I don't really have much to say about the Kush. I mean, it's kind of not in my business to talk politics. But,
right.
I mean, that vest with the Kush on it was pretty epic in terms of...
I feel like that's either very stylish or very not stylish.
It's very, white dude in a war zone.
Yeah.
I'm here, let's go. I got the costume,
Hey, that's how Marvel Studios started.
Yeah.
Any others? Random?
That rapper that told you to shake your butt.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that.
That's funny that they said that. I had that on my mind all evening. So let's talk about that.
Provide a little context. You recently posted a video at which festival was it?
That was at Euphoria Fest.
Okay.
And Euphoria Fest, I had a really long day that day. I had gotten up at 7 in the morning, got my kids to school, took care of a bunch of articles that I had on deadline, drove out to Carson Creek Ranch, so it had been hectic that day. And I finally got there and it was beautiful. It was one of those amazing spring days where everything is perfect. It's 75 degrees, Carson's Creek Ranch, if you've been there when it's beautiful, it's right down on the river, super picturesque. I mean, some of that music at Euphoria Fest is a little kind of techno. It was a little too much for me, but some of it was really, really cool. They had French kiwi juice, that's my jam right now.
French kiwi juice?
Yes.
I'm gonna Google that.
FKJ.
Okay.
You should check it out. It's dope. If you like that stuff. If you like soulful electronic music.
I like all three of the things in their name.
Yes, French kiwi juice. Yeah, he's a Parisian house dude.
Okay.
But he does really soulful stuff and plays a bunch of instruments, and his stage show is really fantastic. That happened later in the night. But there's this dude Eric Dingus and Dude Wrong who there's been a lot of noise about them, a lot of excitement on the scene, and I've never really fully got their music, but it's also I understand I'm not the target demographic for that kind of music. I mean, there's a lot of my dick, the bitches, my dick, so it's I'm not
When you put it like that, it makes me wonder who is the target demo.
But that's fine. I will always go into. I'm not a Future fan, but when he opened for Drake, apart from the weird visuals of the dead white girls, I mean that was a little weird. But he is a beast as a live performer. That seeing him perform, I was I gotta hand it to that dude, he is a beast, and he sells those mumble raps.
I mean, you're a professional. You can appreciate the strength of a performance, even if it's not your cup of tea.
Right. So I went to this Eric Dingus and Durong, and he was just kind of doing. Dingus was doing like vibey beats, and and Durong is just like walking around the stage saying twerk, 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 and it's like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the evening. There's not a huge crowd there yet. I mean, there's maybe a couple, like 100 people, maybe something like that, and there weren't really. I mean, maybe there were people twerking. I really don't think there were people twerking though, because my whole goal while I was there, because afterwards, of course, like in the commentary, people were like, "Oh yeah, there was twerking going on."
Oh yeah, people were trying to retcon it.
Yeah. So my entire goal, my thing for Euphoria Fest was, I'm just gonna make a bunch of GIFs, because that's kind of my new lazy reporter trick. Like, it's my favorite thing to do. And so like, at Euphoria Fest, I stalked girls with hula hoops because I really wanted a hula hoop gift, because I was like, that'll say Euphoria Fest, right? And so if somebody had been twerking, that would have been my gift, right? I was just trying to like be there long enough, because I didn't really appreciate the music, and when I don't appreciate the music, I don't try to say mean things about local bands. I usually just don't say anything. And so, but then he was walking around the stage saying twerk, 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 and there's this beautiful pastoral scene in the background. I was like, well, that's kind of a funny contrast, right? So like, I could take a little video of this, tweet it out, and that's the thing. And so like, I went up to take the picture, and there was nobody really in the front section. I go up to take a picture, and he's like, you can't take a picture of me unless you twerk. And I was kind of like, are you talking to, wait, what, huh? And like, put my camera down. I was like looking at him, like, and the thing about me is that like, I've been accused of being many, many things in my life, but subtle is not one of them. So I'm pretty sure like I had a strong, like, really, are you fucking kidding me, dude? Look on my face. And if he had backed off then and just been like, oh, cool, peace, love, it's all good, end of story. I would have gone back, tried to get my little video. That would have been like my whole report from that was like, the story of Euphoria Fest in 7 GIFs. That was all I was trying to do.
I love that.
Well, because that's what you said, trippy.
I also love the idea that you would have known if there was twerking because you were looking for it. It's like a fireman being like, no, there was not a fire. I showed up to put a fire out.
Exactly. And I'm like, I definitely consider myself feminist, but I am not the kind of feminist who is above putting, a pretty girl twerking on our website, because I'm also a web person, and pretty girls built the internet. So, I mean, and yes.
The lines we walk.
The lines we walk. And plus, like, if a girl's shaking her ass and she's got moves, I mean, that is dope.
Yeah,
like,
big freedom shows.
Yes, those girls can do things with their asses that are amazing and astonishing.
They're trained.
They
really have trained.
But I am not that girl. I am, and so that was real weird to me. And so like I put my camera down and I'm looking at him like, really, dude? What the fuck? And he started chanting twerk, twerk, twerk at me. And it was wild, because this has never happened to me in my 13 years of covering music, that I was like, really, this is what's happening? In order for me to write about you, local rapper, I need to shake my ass? This just doesn't make any sense, and I don't understand this whole situation at all. Plus, I was really pissed off, and I walked off.
That sounds like rightfully so.
Well, it was just that thing of all of a sudden he's chanting at me, and I was like, are you trying to get everybody else to chant at me too? Because that's sort of what it feels like is going on here, and this is really fucked up. And
Did he know who you were?
No. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he did. Maybe he thinks that's the way it works. It's how to charm
You want to get press.
I don't think so. And I mean, and that was one of the things that, like, afterwards when I was being dragged by the commentariat, which I don't read all the comments on my shit, like when people are hating on me, because I'm not a masochist like that. I have my editor look at them, and if there's anything I really need to respond to, but something like that, and it was, the thing that was really wild to me about it was that afterwards there were people who were at the show who, they were like, well, I did hear him say you can't take my picture if you weren't twerk, and then he was chanting twerk, 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 and then I did hear him say, as I walked off, he said, give it up for the girl who didn't twerk.
That's on the video.
Yeah, that's
I
on the
watched
video.
that video.
Yeah, no, that's on my video because I was taking a video and I put my camera down and I was like, what? You know, and then I walked off and then I tweeted out the video of me. I was like, yeah, I was going to take a video of this rapper and show it to you, but instead here's a video of me walking off. You know, and the thing that was really wild to me about how, like, which I knew, it wasn't surprising, that the amount of people who were like, you know, they would believe, or they were there, and so they heard him say, you can't take my picture if you don't twerk, and they heard him say, give it up for the woman who didn't twerk, but they did not believe my part of the story where he was looking at me straight in the face and saying twerk, twerk, twerk during that. And they were like, I don't think he was really trying to get her to twerk, even though, you know, he tweeted out my article, it was like, this stupid woman is, you know, was mad at me because I tried to get her to twerk.
Pretty much copped to it.
Yes.
I mean, that's the alternative facts.
Right. And so, but it was really interesting. But honestly, what it made me think of was I went to see Big Sean and who was he opening for? J. Cole at the amphitheater a year or two before, and YG was the opener for that. And so there were all these women who had come down to the front of the stage because they were hanging out there. Like, it was like you were talking about, like, or I was talking about with somebody who, like, staked out their spots. Like, their young kids run to the front of the stage, stake out their spot, you know, because they're J. Cole fans. And J. Cole is kind of dreamy, and there's lots of girls who like his stuff, and a lot of dudes diss him because they think he's boring. But, you know, it's so there are all these girls at the front of the stage, and YG is up there, and he's like, I need someone to show me their titties. And again, like that, like much like me in that moment, the girls at the front of the stage are just looking at him like, what? And he, like, pointed out some girl, you know, and was like, well, how are you going to come all the way up here in front if you don't want to show me your titties? And I just was like, ooh. It was like the grossest thing to me because, like, I think about how I felt, you know, in that moment on that stage when there were maybe 150, 200 people watching, and how that girl must have felt in an arena of 14,000.
And also, if you're a young person going to a concert, you're doing it to, like, escape. You get to the front. It's supposed to be your special time.
Yes.
That's extraordinarily creepy.
Yeah.
And, like, I, as a man, cannot even begin to imagine what that's like because I get irritated when rappers ask me to put my hands up.
Right. And, like, take off your shirt and anything about and also because, like, yeah, you know, I actually appreciate twerking. So, like, when you say twerk, I'm like, dude, no, what? For you? No, that's just not something I do
for
want
you?
to. Yeah. I mean, and so, like, my whole take was, like, if you want people to twerk, bring the energy, you know, fucking bring it, you know,
or
big
paid
video.
professional dancers.
Or paid professional
Real money.
dancers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I think that's about our time. Do you have any final words? Thank you so much. Everyone give it up for Deborah Sengupta-Stith. Thank you for sharing those stories, being a guest tonight. That was wonderful. We're going to take another quick break, y'all. DJ J-Ro, only playing local stuff,
Yes.
always supporting the locals.
That's what we do.